All right, welcome back to Shaving with Fuzzy. I'm Fuzzy. Hi, y'all. On Monday evening, Monday afternoon. Yeah, it's late enough. It's after 5, so I guess it's actually evening. Anyway, back to our regular work schedule. I actually had the whole weekend off, which was great. I mean, I got stuff done around the apartment here. It's been a while since I've done any real cleaning because I work a lot. But anyway, it looks better than it did. But the paychecks don't look as good when you don't do anything extra. So oh well, we'll see what's going on. Got some good old Roush's, which is a local grocery store chain here, family owned place, yada yada yada, all that kind of good stuff. But anyway, some of their store brand coffee, good stuff. I've talked about it before. There's nothing wrong with the Roush's store brand coffee, and it's cheaper than Community or some of the others. All right, so somebody sent me a question in one of the last videos and wanted to know if I had a Jim Jr. bar. I've got several Jim Jr. bars, and if I, don't drop them all over the place, they would probably last a lot longer. Boy, that's not ain't fun. All right, well, we'll go put the blade back in it. Make sure everything's okay, and it is. Hopefully it didn't bend anything. A little drop like that shouldn't hurt them. But anyway, we'll get the blade back in. But anyway, I have several of these. And I have some with the original short handle, long handle. This has got a longer handle. Now, this one does not have the strop-in attachment. These were also, not only can you use the newer model blades, but they could actually use wedge blades. So the original disposable blade, whatever, was thicker anyway, so they were stropped. So they have a strop-in attachment, and this particular one doesn't have the strop-in attachment in it, and I didn't think before starting the video to show that off by finding one it did. So anyway, I have several that do, but I don't have any. Let me make sure I know what I'm talking about. No, I don't have any up here in my little rack and everything that have the strop-in attachment. The short handles look something like this. This is actually an Ever-Ready. It's not the bar. But this one would also could use with a wedge. Around 1907. These are around 1910ish, if I remember correctly. It's been a while. But anyway, this one was given to me by Dave Irving, who was the gentleman that started the original safety. And it was over on a free site. And I inherited it after he kind of disappeared. And then when it got to where it was unworkable, I started the original Safety 2, which was on the same free hosting site. And when it grew out of that, now we have Toast 3, TOST3.com. And really quiet over there, but there's still a lot of good information. If you're interested in single edge safety razors or injector razors, that's a great place to go look for information. You'll notice I didn't shave this weekend. Matter of fact, I cheated and I didn't shave Friday night either before I went in. And so I wanted a good workout for the Jim Jr. bar here. They are by no means aggressive. However, they are efficient and they definitely get the job done good. We're going to use the same blade that we used in our signature shave, so it's a second use blade. And it'll be great. So to kind of keep things period right, I'm going to use vintage Colgate soap. I don't know which. I don't remember. It's been too long. I've got cup soap, mug soap, and the barber soap. And the barber soap was the first one that they started making. 1917-ish, I believe. So actually it would have come out after the razor. But anyway, I think this is the barber soap that I put in the little scuttle. But I'm not going to swear to that. So anyway, whichever it is, it's vintage Colgate. They all shave the same. They're definitely on par with vintage Williams, which I'm a Williams fan, but the Colgate is definitely on par with the vintage, Williams. Going to use some skin bracer here because we want to, keep it old. So the original Minion skin bracer, the green stuff, is what we're going to finish up with. So it's going to be a classic old shave today. The Smog 1305 was still on the counter from the last shave. So maybe we'll just keep it. Although I kind of hate using the same brush twice. Hold on just a second here. Let's see what we got. Here we go. Yeah, we're going to be all right. So let's switch to a little bit different. I tell you what. Let me do one better than that. Hold that thought. I'll be right back. I know what I can do. All right. Let's use a horse brush. There we go. We'll just skip the old dry this off a little bit and set it back out of the way. I just try not to use the same brushes for videos back to back. Although, you know, I guess it would be no big deal if it happened. So anyway, we'll use a horse brush. I hadn't used it in a while. I'm a fan of horse brush. I'm a boar brush guy. To me, horse is just as good as boar. You know, once they're broke in and they don't stink as bad. Nothing in the world, in my opinion, stinks much worse than an unbroke in horse brush. I think it stinks more than the boar. Personally, that's a personal thought, but I think I'm right. So hey, give it a quick soak. It doesn't have to sit there and soak for 30 minutes to be functional. But anyhow, maybe that's something else that people will respectively agree to disagree with me on. But anyway, it's going to lather just fine. Lather the Colgate the same as we lather everything else. We'll start with a damp brush and get a paste going. It's a tallow soap, so there's no issues. It's a funny story. So it's a tallow soap, so as it gets old, it dries out and it looks rough and dirty and all this kind of good stuff. So I have gifted cakes of this, and when they get them, look what Buddy sent me, and they throw it away. And it's perfectly good soap. All you got to do is use it. You don't have to bloom it. Or bloom something, plant a flower garden. But you just take that damp brush and you start working it up on the surface, and it'll start giving you lather. Yeah, just like this. And what we do as we go along, we'll add a little water to the tip of the brush. We'll work up the lather we want. Like I said, this is several days worth of growth. And this second use carbon steel blade ought to make short work of it. So I'm a fan of lather catchers. I think, folks, if you're a single-edged shaver, you need at least a lather catcher in your collection. It doesn't have to be one of the old ones. I don't hone blades, so I can't really get use out of something that just uses wedge blades. I like the ones that have the spring-loaded little holders on the side, and those are the ones that you can use either the wedge blade or the newer model blades. They work just fine. There are adapters that have been made, 3D printed and things of this nature, to make a modern blade fit into a wedge razor. I have used those, and it's hard to find one that actually works good consistently. But you know, if you have one that works good, you know, more power to you. It's a good thing. I just never have. I've gotten several of them that were 3D printed, and they work okay. You know, you can get a shave out of it. But I just prefer the razors that can use the modern blades already. All right, there we go. Nice lather. We're not looking for buttercream, like I said in the last. You know, don't need the bowl lather. You know, bowls are good for cereal and oatmeal. Don't need the bowl lather. The exception with me with bowl lathering is when I'm using my scuttle, because I want, you know, warm, and I want to use my scuttle or my brush scuttle. Although the brush scuttle, you don't really bowl lather. It just holds the brush warm. But anyway, so we're in August. First, what looks like going to be the first hurricanes bruising out in the Atlantic. Brewing, not particularly bruising. And it's getting to be that time of year, so it may be getting close to time to start. Can you hear that? That is one thing to love about these, that audio feedback. I know people say, well, that's blade chatter. Let the thing chatter then. That's what I say. I think it's a beautiful sound. Could y'all hear that when I quit talking? I hope so. But anyway, just take a quick look here. Look how well that's already taken care of that 3-day growth. So they're not particularly aggressive, but they are efficient. There's people that talk about them being too mild. If a razor is too mild for you get a shave, what's too mild is your technique. Just saying. I could take this same growth or more and use a Contour 2. I can't think of, much that's going to be a, got a sore right there. I hope I don't knock the top off it. But if I do, it's not going to really be a weeper. It's going to be top knocked off. So, but anyway. And I've done it. Had a really big growth and used a mild razor. It'll shave. Now, I prefer razors that have more blade feel. Just like I prefer pickup trucks that have a stick shift, although I don't have one. They're hard to come by these days. But anyway, just how it is. All right, well, check that out. Look at that. We knocked all. I could quit now. I could go to work. Nobody would say anything. But that's not how we do. We always want our 3-pass shaves so we feel like we're doing something. I do anyway. We just need a lighter coat. Don't need a heavy coat of soap for this. Going through, we just want to get the glide and clean everything up. And we're going to come back with witch hazel for a 3rd pass. And right now we're just going to go across the grain because we don't do against the grain. That's not news to anybody that knows me. All right. Ooh, that's cleaning up nice, actually. Very nice. Might just put some Tres Flores in the hair tonight and not even wear a hat. We'll see. I think I got a good enough, my haircut's still good enough for that. I sometimes after a haircut, I'll go a couple of days and every now and again without wearing a hat. And as it gets a little longer, I'll put some gel in it and slick it back. But I think I could still comb it straight down if I wanted to and not wear a hat tonight. No particular reason not to wear a hat or to wear a hat. Ain't no big deal. All righty. Look at that. All cleaned up. We're going to do a quick rinse here. Get some witch hazel on and see what it feels like. That's one thing I like about the witch hazel. Is that you can feel any rough spots if you happen to have a little bit of irritation. You can knock the irritation off. So, school's coming back in and the college students are coming back and we'll soon be back ranting about the kids and their noisy cars and the way they can't drive and their attitudes. We'll get back to it. Right now all we're doing is dodging the school buses. And generally school buses do pretty good. I had one that I think pulled out too close in front of us the other day. Several of us had to slow down to let it get across traffic. But I guess I've driven buses. It can be frustrating when you're waiting, and at some point you may just go, hey, I'm big and yellow. They're going to see me and slow down, so I got to go because I got kids that need to go places. So I guess that's how it could happen. I'm not actually a fan of that. Check that out. And I can tell you, you can't feel it, I can. That's a nice shave right there. Ain't nothing in the world like a good lather shave, lather catcher shave with a good carbon steel blade. I like carbon steel blades better than stainless. Although I use stainless, I got stainless. Got a bunch of them. But I can buy the carbon steel blades local. Well, not really feeling anything that feels all that bad. We'll just kind of do another pass here, which is the whole point of shaving, is to make passes, as long as you're not getting irritation. But I can remember used to, when I was in the shave forums more, you'd have the people talking about making 10 passes, whatever. And I'm sitting there just, kind of laughing at myself. Anyway, learn a skill. If you want to use a skill, learn a skill. But anyway, there we go. We are all cleaned up for work tonight. And go in and see what our week is going to be like. I had to go to one of the district offices a couple hours drive last week, 2-hour drive over there. Enjoyable drive. And I had forgotten that the interstate, it's Interstate 49. It runs from Lafayette to Freeport. I had to go to Alexandria, Louisiana. And I had forgotten. And once you get to that point, that when you get on there, it picks up to a 75-mile-an-hour speed limit. So me and the old Expedition was clicking 80 miles an hour along there. Late evening, wasn't much traffic. Didn't have to put up with a bunch of idiot drivers. It was a nice trip. Worked out really well. All right, so there we go. Jim Jr. Bar Shave. These things are just absolutely fantastic shavers. And it's great to shave with something that's got that much history and that much age on it and everything, in my opinion. If you happen to find a Jim Jr. bar and the bar is gone, you can still use it. As long as the blade slides up tight against the stops and the catch in the back, I'll show you in just a second. Since I thought about this, I'll pass this wisdom along. As long as I'll go ahead and rinse this now, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So, if the bar is broken off or missing, you can still take the blade and you put the blade on. And I'm gonna do this without my glasses on, so wish me luck. And once you get it up behind the stops, click the rear catch up. And as long as it's behind the stops and you have the rear catch up, you can shave with it like that. It's not going to kill you without having the bar to come down over the top. It can be done. I don't like it because I like the traditional, but if that's all you can get a hold of, you find one in a lot at a good price, or it comes with some other razors that you've bought, and you say, oh, look, I got one of these, but it doesn't have the bar. You can still shave with it. It'll still be a good shave. Alrighty, that's what I think about it. So there we go. That's the Monday shave. Vintage Colgate horsehair brush. That's a Vilong or Vilong, how you pronounce it, Spanish, right? Brush. I like the one that is a mix of the mane and the tail. They have one that has more mane hair in it that's really floppy. It's usable. I don't like it as much. I like the one because this one is closer to boar. And to me, that's a really, really, really good thing. All right, there we go. Hope everybody's doing good today. And we're rolling right along. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see. If I don't have the razor you want to see, I probably got one similar to it. And we'll try to keep it in. I'm going to post this over at Toast 3 also, not only here on YouTube, but TOST3, the number 3.com. And come on over if you want to read. There's also links to the Original Safety and Original Safety 2. Tons and tons and tons of information on those two sites from people a whole lot smarter than me. So there you go. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, happy shaves to you.